changing my voice. So they edited all my pictures, the sound of my voice, what have you. They fume and poison me and use technology to change it. So if you hear it in person, it's almost certainly altered, especially if I'm making a video in my car. If I'm making a video walking around, I have other problems. So I tend to make it in my car. I can't make it in the house because I'm fumed and other issues. And everyone's kind of shunning me because simple answer is they're different species that pretend to be human. Okay, so they're whatever genetic makeup you think they have is probably what it is, but they're a different species in terms of, there's Homo sapiens, right, Neanderthal, Cro-Magnon, Homo erectus, what have you. We're a different species that's diverging. Okay, so I'm capable and able and willing and dedicated to doing the right thing, which allows me to have true love. There are species that no matter how much information you give them, how much money they have kids, don't have kids, if they're this race, they're that race, they're like, there are other species. I mean, there's more than one human species, right? It goes beyond race, because race kind of suggests that everyone's more or less the same or something, and that they're just a different color, different this, different location, but it's more than that, okay? People were separated for, in some cases, over 120,000 years, okay, in different continents, and there's different tribes and cultivative cycles. So, when it comes to the Romeo Must Die movie, again, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. People like Jet Li are somewhat related to me in that my great-grandfather, my grandfather on my father's side looks like a black Asian or something, okay? And there's a reason for that. Who went where and why, and there's a reason why the martial arts stuff is connected and so on and so forth, right? It's referring to the core Igbo line, right? And they kind of went around the world. The reason why Kuro Obi means black belt in Japanese and Obi means King Heart Essence Center Temple Core, okay, goes back to that. So when they say Romeo must die, right? Marshall is marital scramble, Christ is the bridegroom. Now, they're doing bitch ass shit to kind of make it so I've got to rush through this, so I sound a little annoyed, a little like, but make a long story short, it's a jigsaw puzzle effect. Some characteristics of Aaliyah look like she could be my sister, but she has that elongated Jewish face. And Jet Li, some characteristics look like my grandfather, so it's pointing to me. And it says Romeo must die. You have the Rome. Okay, Rome. Beware of wolves in sheep's clothes. The symbol of Rome is the wolf. Another symbol is the eagle. And that, they're trying to superimpose their fake loves, their counterfeit love and lifestyle on the ideal. So Hollywood, right, which goes back to the Druids and their magic wands, according to some people, one way or another. It goes back to, their sex calls Hollywood's secret society, secrete and secretion, and their movements to, they're Satanists, and that goes back to the species thing. When I look at that, it's clear that we're different species. I would never in my wildest dreams betray God. I would never in my wildest dreams, persecute the most righteous person that ever lived. See, I'm not capable of doing that evil stuff. They not only are capable, but you see a whole spectrum of different types of people from different races that commit to that. And they think that whatever's in this world is worthwhile. Think about animals. Some go to the air, some go to the land, some go to the water, right, when they diverge. So I'm going to the light of justice, and they're going to wickedness, and they're some kind of smug other type of species that diverged from people like me a long time ago, and it's still in the process of diverging. And when the diverging is, you might say, complete, but it's it's going to keep going until the human race goes extinct. Okay, I'm going to be with God after my flesh dies, and they're going to be in hell, going to hell, after their flesh dies, and they're going to keep breeding people who are hell-bound. Okay, so that's where they're going, the realm, the terrain, the plane, what have you. Okay, and their way about them is different. Their dreams are different. What they desire is different. They're very, very, very different. And there's some of them are white supremacists who want to make it seem like everyone else is inferior to them, and some of them are like communists, and they want everyone to seem like to pretend that they're equal, and they have different complexes and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of different species. They're all like a satanic species, and there's subspecies. And I'm from above, right? The Bible says you're from below, I'm from above, right? It's different spiritual species. There's a different species. There's gene implications here, gene expression, things like that, genetic implications. So the Romeo must die connects to the tears of the son. Again, in Psalm 19, the son is the symbol of the bridegroom. Okay. And martial is marital scrambled. And martial, spelled differently, means to order and to arrange. Okay. And so to arrange, to order, to come into the divine order, and divine martial arts, and martial arts are lifestyles, right? Versus, some kind of LGBT stuff, or, maybe it's an Asian tradition, island tradition, maybe it's Angolan and Brazilian tradition. It's some worldly thing, right? And some flesh-based thing, and so on. And the gays, and there's highly political, there's conservatives, and they're pulling all kinds of, watered-down martial arts this way and that way. And there's MMA and others just mere sports under the guise of martial arts, and so on and so forth. So, it's that difference. So out of that, the typical kind of rich, white, and Jewish jealousy, typical LGBT jealousy, they say, hey, they want to do some kind of ritual while they're massacring countless people and social engineering and raping kids and doing all these things that they get caught doing all the time. They want to screen out the most righteous person that ever lived in a way that reflects their kind of beta, way of thinking, their kind of, inferior spirit, what have you. Thank you. Well, before I forget, the movie Romeo Must Die has martial arts with Jet Li, overkill that. The cradle to the grave, right? Scripture is Crips root scrambled, right? Crip, one of the explanations for where the word Crip came for this predominantly African-American gang that started in California is that, you come into the world in a crib and you leave a crip, okay? And, people say Christ rest in peace, community, revolution, and progress, and some other things to that effect. Now, that's where the cradle to the grave connection comes. This stuff, once you are familiar with these ideas and you see how much they're a big part of the popular culture here in America, you know that it must be connected. I mean, you'd have to be crazy to think otherwise. Also, the little Romeo looks like me in some pictures, and this has to do with, the fact that he's of Igbo descent. I'm a different species than Master P and Little Romeo and everyone else, right? But some people look more like me. When people choose actors, they tend to choose people who look more like, the person they're trying to play, things of that nature, right? So that's all that is. So it was there as like a, the word imposter. It says I'm poster, right? And what they do with a lot of my pictures, they try to make it so I look like a crypto Jew or something, but I'm not. Okay, my dad is Nigerian. Those genes are superior. They're dominant. Okay, white people and Jews are often referred to as recessives by black people. No offense to anybody, but it's so commonly understood that their genes are recessive when we're talking about the RNA expression from the patriarchal line versus a white line. They're, the black genes are the dominant genes, right? And it has implications on what group is meant to rule over what group. And I personally, I'm not racist. I don't give a shit. I just tell it how it is. Life is short. I do God's work. So that's what that is, okay? And I'm mulatto. I'm not all black, but I still tell it how it is, right? And the ideal leader is a mulatto guy. I'm certain of that. A lot of black women are rebellious. I mean, it's a long story why that is. It has to do with hybrid. It's the reason why it's called hybrid. And the word, hybrid, you can, the word bird is scrambled in there, right? The bird is the word. As much as that is like an immature saying, it is relevant in this thing, okay? And I can go on and on about this, but I'm just going to leave it here because I want to get to the kind of core of why these pictures are what they are in the next, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos where I show you these pictures one at a time. And I probably went over this in my story already. And how they're connected to the process of screening me out, and how it's connected to the Osiris ritual of killing the pharaoh, and people being condemned to hell as Set and Apep and all the deities kind of betray Horus. And we see that now. We see the people who are like those deities, okay, what they became or whatever. We see them betraying me instead of rallying to me, right? When the king says, rally to me, this is the end, those who are traitors do not rally. And they're clearly on Set and Apep's side, and they're trying to, they chose the flesh over the spirit, and that's fucking pathetic. That's why Horus is the god of war, not these other deities, because they don't understand war. They just understand saving their own skin, apparently.